Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Classically Trained. And of course, this is a haul video for this weekend. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far, and that you found some cool stuff. If not, I am here to show you some cool stuff, just so you can feel good about yourself. So I will be on vacation the next week, so you will not see a video from me for next week. 2 weeks from now I'll be back and doing my thing, but as of now, this is the last video that I'm going to do of the haul videos, but believe me, I'll be back because I know you guys love to watch these things, and I find some really cool stuff. So let's get on with today's haul. This week's haul, actually. This past Friday I was actually in Toronto to pick up some exclusive pops from the Royal Ontario Museum. Though I don't have any of them because I didn't want any of them, I did end up going to Chinatown to my favorite anime store, Anime Extreme, and I picked up some cool stuff, which I will show you guys what I got. But let's start with the random stuff first. I like to keep it to video game stuff at the very end, so I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that I picked up. And first up, I got a couple of manga books at a couple of thrift stores, and one of them is game related, and it is one of my favorite games for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Wii U when it first came out, and that is Splatoon. Now, if you guys didn't know, Nintendo has been doing manga for different properties of their games, and Splatoon is one of them. There's also Legend of Zelda, and a few others, especially Pokemon. But Splatoon is one of those awesome games that I love because it's so different and it's so fun, and I love the colors and it's so creative, that I have actually started reading the manga, and it's actually pretty funny. Of course, this is aimed at a younger audience, but to me it doesn't really matter because the artwork is great. The story is actually pretty funny. It's more of a comedy type, but it does follow a lot of what the game does. So I picked that one up, and I also picked this other one up called Crescent Moon. Now, this is a manga I've never heard of before. I'm not sure if there's actually an anime based off of it, but this is another one that I don't know anything about. I saw it at my thrift store, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. It is Volume 1. Most of the time, you never see Volume 1s. You always see, like, Volume 4, 5, 15s. So I got Volume 1. And this one, the story is pretty creative. Basically, it's a lot like... I'm gonna say it's a lot like Shadowhunters, basically, where there's a downworld, and there's vampires, werewolves, and the main character, she gets pulled into this world, and so basically that's all I know about it. I haven't started reading yet, so I picked that one up. Next up, my best friend knows that I love game strategy guides. And this one is really cool because it's one that he had, and he asked me if I wanted it, and of course I took it right off his hands, and I was very happy that he asked me. And that is the strategy guide to Ni no Kune, Wrath of the White Witch. Now, if you guys don't know, this is being remastered for Nintendo Switch, and I love the second game, but it is a PS4 exclusive. I'm hoping that they'll bring it to Switch. But I've never actually played the first game. I've seen it for PS3, but I never did get a chance to play it. And this is a really awesome, detailed strategy guide. And the thing that I love about these games is that it is from the same creators of Studio Ghibli. And if you don't know what Studio Ghibli is, it is the best animated studio company of all time. And they've done so many amazing titles, such as Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away, and a lot of awesome other ones, but Princess Mononoke is my all-time favorite anime movie of all time. But yeah, I'm very happy I got this. It's a hardcover. It gives you everything that you need to do in the game, and the thing I really love about it is that the reason why I love to have these books, strategy guides and art books, is because it gives you cool artwork that are inside of the game. So it gives you all the designs and how they decided how characters were going to look and such. I really love that type of stuff, being an artist myself. So I got that from him. Thank you, John, because I'm so happy I have it. Next up, I also got a new vinyl record, and it is an Elvis one, Elvis in Hollywood. Now this is all Elvis's movie songs that he performed, and yeah, I do like the Elvis a lot, actually. I do have his Christmas album, but I never had an Elvis album that had a bunch of my favorite songs of his, such as Jailhouse Rock, and there's a few others. I like Blue Hawaii, and you know, there's a lot of awesome songs on here, and some that I don't even remember. Though Viva Las Vegas, who can forget that one? But yeah, I got that for myself at Valor Village for $1.99, so I'm very happy I got that. Next up, movies. So also at my Valor Village, I picked up a horror movie, and it's a classic that I love myself, and that is Urban Legend. Now, Urban Legend is one of those awesome slasher films that takes the urban legends that we know about, and it brings it to life. Basically, the killer recreates all the death scenes as the legends. So it's really cool. I really do like this film. I know there's a bunch of spin-offs, but the original to me will always be the best one. Next up, this past week released the final season of my favorite show on Blu-ray. And I'm gonna miss it because it was so good and I loved it so much, and it is Gotham. Now, if you came late into Gotham, you know that you've missed an amazing show. They've done so much to keep it tied to the Batman mythos and changed a couple of things, and it just flowed so beautiful. The cast had such a great chemistry together, and I love it because I'm a Batman fan. I'm a crazy Batman fan, and yeah, it is my all-time favorite show alongside Stranger Things and Cobra Kai, because those are very amazing. And it's good because the copy of this Blu-ray was actually a lot cheaper, since there's not very many episodes to this final season. I'm just glad it ended it off in a perfect note, and you know, hopefully we'll get a continuation sometime. We are getting a prequel of Alfred as in Pennywise. So I'm very happy to see that show too. Next up, let me see. Next up, I'll show you the things that I completely forgot to show on my last haul video. I posted it on my Instagram accounts of the photo of my past haul, but for some reason I totally forgot that I had these, and so now I'm going to show them. I got a couple of Plush figures. You guys know that the last one I got Cloud, but I did get Lightning, and as you can see, I'm using a Funko Pop protector. It's not the greatest, but I want to keep these in mint condition and keep them away from dust. So I used the Funko Pop protectors that I get at EB Games for $1.99, and Lightning is one of my favorite characters. I actually really love Final Fantasy 13. Next up, a character that I don't know nothing about. I've never played the game either. I might get the remastered edition, and that is Squall from Final Fantasy 8. This one was lucky. It was the only one I found in London, so I grabbed it, and you know, I was like, man, might as well. Nothing. I might actually buy the remastered edition that comes out for the Switch later this year. My only downfall aside of that game is, you know, I wish that we would have gotten Final Fantasy VII as a physical copy, since I'm a huge collector, and Final Fantasy VII is my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. I don't really care for very many other Final Fantasies. The story and the characters have to be top notch for me to fall in love with the game. So that was just a purchase that I was like, you know what, it's worth a lot of money, might as well. Maybe I'll sell it later. But there was one character that I wanted the most, and it was so hard to find. And yes, I did find it in Chinatown, but on Amazon it's going for $67 with free shipping. Or there was another listing, there was only 2 listings, and the other one was $40 something plus $35 shipping, which is ridiculous. for such a small little figure. But I finally found, to go with my Cloud, Sephiroth. Now these are out of print, so what that means is that, you know, if you don't find it, it's going to be a lot more rare. And the good thing is, I actually picked up 2 of these guys. They were 29 bucks at Anime Extreme, which is the reason why I wanted to go to that anime store, was because I knew I could find something. And I'm so happy I found it, because Sephiroth is my favorite bad guy, alongside Cloud. You know, you have to have the light and the dark, and Sephiroth is up there. So I'm very happy I got Sephiroth. And my other ones are actually in the same Funko case protectors, because I'm going to make an awesome display for my Final Fantasy VII stuff. So that will come, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that later on. Next up, while I was also there at Anime North, sorry, not Anime North, Anime Extreme, the anime store, I also picked up the static arts bust of Sephiroth, which is really, really awesome. It's the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy, and I really wanted to get it. I was kind of hesitant at first. I was like, should I not? Because it is $80, but it is just so amazing. And yeah, the box is damaged, so I will be taking it out, which I'll be doing an unboxing after this video, and give you a 360 look of Sephiroth. But very, very happy I got it. Like I said, Final Fantasy VII is the only Final Fantasy game that I love the most. So Sephiroth was one of those things that is going to look very cool in my display collection. Next up, the games. I only got 2 games this week. Some I was lucky to find. The other one, it was one that I was really, really trying to find, and this one was my lucky one, and it's Final Fantasy XII Relevant Wings. Now this takes place after the Final Fantasy XII, which I've never played. From what I heard, it's more like a tactical strategy where you kind of put your people to go towards something, and they do the mission, and you're pretty much like a team leader. Not my type, but you know, I saw it for cheap, and it's very hard to find, so I grabbed it. But I'm more into the turn-based, especially with Final Fantasy VII, because to me that is the story I love the most. I probably will never play 12. I know I can buy it for the Switch, but it's one of those games where I probably won't. But I'm happy I got it. It goes in my DS collection, so it's not too bad. Now this was the very first game that ever got me into Final Fantasy and into the Final Fantasy story, and it's a shame because I really wish that we would get a remastered edition of it, but because of copyright laws of the music and such, we won't be able to get it unless it takes taken out, which I really hope it does. I wouldn't mind if they took out the songs or replaced them and allows me to replay this, because I don't own a PSP, and that is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Now this is the prequel to Final Fantasy VII, which got me into the games. I played this like crazy when I had my PSP. I love the story of 7. Cloud is my favorite character, and you know, getting to play as Zack and finding out how Cloud becomes the way he is, it was really amazing. The story for a handheld game and the gameplay was absolutely incredible. They did a really, really good job at bringing such an amazing game onto a small handheld. And it's very sad because Sony kind of screwed themselves over with every handheld they've created, which is sad because I really did like the PSP at the time. And you know, with these types of games, it was really awesome. I'm so happy I got it though. It's also going to go up in my Final Fantasy VII display because it takes place before my favorite game. So I want to make sure that it's up there, people can see it, along with my figures, my Sephiroth, and anything else that I decide to put in that awesome display cabinet. And that, guys, is this week's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, you know, like I said, I won't be doing another video for 2 weeks now. So, you know, keep up with what I originally have on my channel. I'm going to do my unboxing soon of Sephiroth. And, you know, just keep it here to Classically Trained for more awesome haul videos and more collection unboxings and stuff. And I want to thank you guys for everything. Take care.